in play. I would like to rate it around 6 serpent flies.
Yeah.
The next is Frozen Fists with this beautiful kappa art. It's a fortune, permanent, all friendly spirits creatures gain +1, and this was the fortune why I played spirits in my Jkk deck. What do you think?
So this cost 4, and this neutral unique creature also does buff the spirit creatures +1.
Yes,
And,
every spirit.
Yep. So this is 4 cost card that buff the card +1, and alternatively you could cast a 3/3/6 creature and also have this effect. So I would choose that creature, and I rate that creature at 6, so I can't really rate that higher. I would say 5 serpent flies for this, but I know some people think it's really good. But 4 cost is really much just to buff the creatures, I think.
Yes, but this is ongoing, so it will stay there. And if you just compare with the 3 cost Inferno Fortune, I think this is still much better because it's permanent, ongoing. You can play like 2 or 3 from this, and your war spirit deck got +1 attack or +2, +3. I would like to rate it. Of course, it's not really good. It's only good with spirits. I would like to rate it around 6 again. Still usable. Okay, next is Typhoon, 3 cost Sanctuary, ongoing fortune. Until your next turn, all enemy creatures gain -2 attack.
I think it's good, very good card, but it is until your next turn, so it's obviously not like on the OP level. But I think it is better than Sacred Penultiums or the Inferno card, that because -2 makes like really most of the board useless. Like -1 is but they can still attack, but -2 like basically your board cannot attack for most of the factions, so opponent like just gains this free turn just in the Sanctuary, like in the Jkk that is playing for the control. This should be really good card, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Jkk control can use it, but I would like to see this card in Necropolis. More likely, it should be good. So good with the destroy all 0 attack creature.
But this is for Sanctuary.
I know. I said I would like to see, but still usable for stalling. Maybe some stall decks will use it. Okay, let's go to the next. Fork Knowledge. 4 cost Fortune. Instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 3 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. What do you think?
Yeah, if that card have the free destiny requirement, it would be so good, because it basically like with the golden horseshoe you just draw the free cards, but it's better because you can actually choose the cards from the 5 cards, and it works kinda like revised tactics also, because you can like remove the cards you don't really need and you play this in the late game, so you can really make some use of this this effect that removes some cards to the grave and just take these 3 cards that you really want in the moment. And this cost that is like +1 more cost than golden horseshoe is really worth it, and because it's like the revised tactics plus the golden horseshoe in one. But that one destiny more this 4 destiny makes it really hard to pull off, because Yukiko is like going to 3 destiny and not more, and I don't see how you can squeeze it in this deck. So it's good card, but maybe not that much playable.
Yeah, hard to play. I think you just told everything about this card. I would rate it around 7, maybe more like a 6, 5, 6. 7 is just too good. Okay, the next is Stronghold Fortune, Beastman Warcry. It's free cost. Fortune instant until end of turn. Target Centaur creature and target Harpy creature gain +2. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really specific because you need to have the Centaur and Harpy on the board. If you have only Centaur, you can't play it. If you have only Harpy, you can't play it. If you have 2 Centaurs, you can play it. If you have 2 Harpies, you can play it. If you have none of the above, you can't play it. You have to have exactly the Centaur and the Harpy on the board, and this makes this card almost useless in my mind.
Yes, it's really hard to play, even if the +2 looks good. Also, it requires 3 destiny, and you would like to play it maybe with Akamas or Cat, but they would run with Bloodthirsty or I don't know. In fact, I don't feel the wall Centaur and Harpy mechanics that strong like the Bloodthirsty. So in fact, that was a good way to nerf Stronghold in this expansion, just to give them new mechanic, which is interesting, but can't be that up like Bloodthirsty. Okay, I would like to rate it like 4, 3, 4.
Yes, something like
The
that.
next is Academy Hero. It's Elizabeth, the Queen Elizabeth. What would it hasn't any ability. Spell schools light, dark, and earth. What do you think? What kind of deck she would play?
Yeah, I don't think these light spell schools give her more advantage than if you would play the Hakim, and you have this dark and earth in the Hakim, but you have also this 2 fortune requirement at start. So, and Academy like to play with Circle of 9, then Hakim is a better choice because you can have easy access to Circle of 9 with Hakim. So I don't think she will be play like instead of the Hakim for some decks. So maybe if this light would be really needed for some deck, but I don't see that deck now, maybe in future.
Oh yeah. In light spells, only Sunblaze and Blinding Light can be useful, maybe, in my opinion, or maybe Bless, but she not gonna don't wanna play Bless, in fact. So I mostly agree with you, but the art is beautiful, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the next. Is Haven, the new Haven hero, Anton. He has ability for 4 cost, increase the size of all friendly decks by 1, and light and air magic school. Stats are 1/1. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like this ability. I think it is very powerful because if you have like 2 or 3 barracks and then one of each stackable creatures, then you can like buff all of these like 5 different creatures +1, and it easily can, like, for 4 resource you actually gain like 10 resource or something close to that. So this ability can be really powerful, but then it's really hard to have that much stackable creatures on the board to use that ability to that much effective. And Cassandra should be overall better because she has same spell schools, but this one more fortune makes her able to play with campfires.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you think? If people would play Anton, how would they play it? With fortune or maybe with spells? More likely with fortunes, right?
I don't know. Would you play campfires in Anton with only one destiny?
Maybe not campfires, but I don't know. Yeah, hard to say. The abilities looks good, but in fact, I don't think he will be a top hero anyway. That 4 cost
You
is
could-
a little bit too much
Yeah.
and only
You could-
usable at late game. Yes?
Yes, I think you could play like 5-3 with stats. Just go to really high creatures and then play free magic for just buffing or blinding light or storm rage.
Yeah, but the problem is you can play then Kieran, which has light and primer, and I think it's just much better. Also,
Yeah,
you
because
can.
Kieran has better stats, right?
Yeah, so why you would choose Anton? But anyway, hopefully someone will find something good with him. Next is the mighty Kirill. 2 1 stats makes him strong. Dark and fire spell schools again for Inferno, and the abilities until end of turn. Fire creatures and dark creatures cost 1 less to play. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it will be the new best hero for Inferno. Basically, like you can play him like the Deleb because he has even better stats than Deleb. So you can play the lava spawns. You can play basically all in rush with him. You can play him as a control because he has really controlish spells. And then this ability is like almost like the crack ability. And if you have the broader creature pool, then it will be really powerful. And currently, even on our current small card pool, it's
Sorry.
almost super good, this ability already. I would rate him 9 serpent flies.
I would rate him exactly 10. As you said, just better the starting stats as Deleb. He also can play Hellfire Imp, what you forget to say, which is also very strong rush creature, and he can play the I want round back, but the creature which can play over spells from the graveyard and play through river again and again and again to clear the board front of the rush at late game or at mid game, because he won't like to reach the late game. Also he can play a bit with control. Oh yeah, 10 per 10. 10 serpent flies for sure. The next hero is Anastasia, the Necro one, with ability. Her ability costs 2 and put 2 crippling counters on target creatures. She has dark and primal magic with 1/1 starting stats. What do you think?
Ability is really good, but the spell schools are really bad, and I don't think it will be better than, for instance, if you play the same deck on like Syria or Ariana, or even the new Namtaru, which has the air or water, which can basically clear the board. Anastasia really missed that ability to clear the board, because all the primal and dark spells are only to kill target creature, and her ability is also to weaken the target creature. So if she is like falling in the board, she cannot do anything about that.
Yeah, she looks like for me a new Svetlana, so maybe fun decks will be made with her, with this new crippling mechanic. Maybe can reach some good results with her, but never gonna be a top deck in my opinion. It's around 6-7 price.
Yeah, something like that.
The next is Irina, Sanctuary Hero with 3 spell schools and no ability. Her spell schools is light, dark and water. What do you think?
It's basically if you would put a Mukao and the Mukao and what else? Yeah, I forgot the hero, but it's like 2 heroes that we already have put together, and I think the Yukiko is better with this extra fortune stat, because playing Yukiko you can play this Kabuki Propagandist on turn 3, which is really important, and I don't see that much advantage in having the dark and light spell in the same hero, because both spell schools doing probably the same, just dealing with the one strong creature.
I don't know. The dark water, light, it looks good for me because you have AoE spells with water, you have single target spells with dark, and also some good buff and debuff with light. I think she can be interesting. I don't have build in my mind, but maybe, hopefully, she will be playable. She is so cute, so I want to see her in the battlefield. Okay, next is Sandor, the Stronghold one. It's again 1/1 starting stats, and the spell schools dark, earth and fire. What do you think about him?
It's basically on the similar power level as Togrul, because it's basically all about this fire and earth, and then it's a question if you prefer to have the situational ability of Togrul or the situational use of the dark magic, because let's be honest, you prefer the sacrificial altars as the necro than the soul reverse anyway. And what else you can play? Maybe if you would play with this new these new dark spells as Alone in the Dark, but I don't know. It should be better overall than Togrul, I would say, because the ability of Togrul is really specific, and here you can actually make some good deck with the Sandor. So I would rate him as high as even an 8 Serpent Flies.
I don't think. My problem is the 1/1 stats. So mostly 1/1 heroes with 1/1 stats are not really good. Even if they have 3 spell schools, it's just too high to reach the stats what you want. And even if the spell schools are really good and can help on Bloodthirsty or anything, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't like Togrul also, so I would like to rate him around Togrul also, with 6 Serpent Flies or maybe 7. And we are just jumping to spells. The first is gonna be air spell, a Blast of Wind. It's a 3-cost spell. Enchant creature until your next turn. Enchant creature gains anchored. Enchant creature and all adjacent creatures cannot attack. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I still prefer to cast the Geyser for free resource than to basically make the creatures unable to attack, but can have some use, but it's not really worth the card slot, I think, this effect, because yeah, also it costs too much, I think. If it costs 2, then maybe I don't like this card too much.
Yeah, it maybe would be playable if it's gonna be permanent, but it's until your next turn, and this completely destroy this spell. So I would like to rate it around 3 or maybe 2 7 flies.
Yep.
This is just a very bad card, even if rare. Okay, the next is Wind Arrows. Permanent. Friendly air creatures gain Shockwave 2. What do you think?
Yeah, it's basically giving the shockwave 2 to your quick attack creatures on Stronghold, because all the quick attack creatures from Stronghold are air creatures and not much else, not any other creature I don't know that are air. Maybe the Blue Zephyria, but she is air aligned. So this is really specific card, like only for Stronghold, I think, and then I don't really find that much use for Shockwave 2. I don't really like this ability, and I don't think it's worth a card slot, so I don't like this card.
The only thing is what is good in this card is permanent, and you can stack it. So you can maybe it can be Shockwave 6, Shockwave 8, and then gonna be good, but still that's a late game plan, and at late game it's not enough. So I also don't really like this spell. I would like to rate it around 4, 7, 5, maybe a little bit better than Blast of Wine, but don't know, not much. And a very nice spell coming, the 3-coster spell Stormrage. Choose 3 adjacent target battleground position, deal 2 damage to any creature at those position. What's your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I really like this spell. I can say that it was even stronger previously. We have to nerf it slightly, but it's still really good as in current form. And it's basically like fork firebolt, like with additional third firebolt to other creature, because and this is really like you can just play this like in the free adjacent to each other battleground position, but it can be like in the line or in the row. So it's really like you can really make a good trade with this card, and also it's able to target the battleground position even if the creature on the battleground position is untargetable. So it's slightly better than Fork Firebolt for that.
Yeah, I wanna say it's much better than Forge Firebolt. Just so much more possibilities, and you almost can reach with this free target adjacent target battleground every time on the board. Maybe even 3 if you start from the corner. But it's a very good spell. It's 8 separate price at least for me.
Yeah, 7 for me.
And the next is Dark spell, Darkness Curse. 4 spell. Put a crippling counter on all non-dark creatures. What do you think about this?
It costs too much. If it costs 3, then it will be on the same cost as Holy Light, and Holy Light put a +1 counter on your creatures, and Darkness Curse is like the reverse of that, but it put the -1 counter on the opponent creatures, which are non-dark creatures by definition. But if you are playing against Necro, then you are kinda screwed with this card on hand. And it also can affect some of your creatures, because when you are all of your creatures are actually dark, and it's not like with the Holy Light, because Holy Light has the inclusion of the friendly, friendly light creatures, and here with the darkness curse you have the all creatures. So I don't like this card. I think it's like for sacrifice most.
Yeah, I exactly agree with you. I even I don't know if I would play for free. For two, it's gonna be a good card for stall decks in my opinion. Or if put two crippling counter on all non-dark creatures for for a stall deck. But with 4 cost and 1 crippling counter is just not enough. You never gonna get a good situation to play it like with 8 creatures on the board. Okay, the next is illusion. Sorry. The next is illusionary. I'm sorry, guys. Illusionary Nightmare. It's a permanent ongoing spell. Enemy creatures with no adjacent friendly creatures gain -2 attack. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this card is good because it's especially good if you have the hero with dark and water, and lot of heroes in Necro have these two magic skill combinations, and then you can actually force opponent to stack creatures and then punish him with the ice meteors. So it should be really powerful, and also you can stack this card, so these opponent creatures will gain not -2 but -4, so you can actually play like 2 of these cards in the deck. It doesn't have to be like exactly 1 copy of this card in the deck.
Yeah, exactly. This is the strong in this spell is permanent. That's why it can be strong. Still, I feel that focused a little bit too much, but playable at least. But dark magic already have a lot of good focus spell like Soul River and the crippling one, but still it's playable and can be a good combo with the free cost fortune, for example with Syria or with Jazir, as you said. I would like to rate it around 5, 6, 7 price. The next is a very strong one, Alone in the Dark, for free cost. Destroy an enemy creature with no adjacent creature randomly chosen. Let's tell us about something. Sorry. So what's your think about it?
Yeah, I think it's because it is written on this card that is random, but if you are actually will see, it can actually be like the creature of your choose, because you can really play around that effect. Like first you are gonna play Soul River on the some other card, then you're gonna attack with your creatures in some other card, and then exactly will be only one creatures that you choose, that this creature will have no advanced creatures, and then bam, you are playing Alone in the Dark, and this is basically the another Soul River, but it costs less. So I think this card is on the power level on Soul River, and this is really good.
Yeah, and also this is not preventable. I mean, you can't use their Sanctuary against it. You only can play in with adjacent creatures against this card. But then, for example, Syria can play Jazir or Ice Meteor. So this card has lots of possibilities. It's at least 8, 7 price for me. The next is Earth Spell, Nature's Fortitude. Ongoing spell. It's permanent also, and enchantment. Enchanted creature gains +4 health point. Oh, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't like any card that is played on the creature, uh, because in our game it's easily to kill the creature and then you are like one card disadvantage. Of course you can play it on the Blast Crusher, but compare this card to the Runner Harpy, which is very bad to drop, and Runner Harpy at least you can play on the turn 2 and it also has the 4 HP. So this card is too specific for my taste, I don't like it.
Yeah, and we have a lots of same type of spell already. Maybe Charity, some Charity troll deck can play it with Imperial Guard or something like that. But overall, this is a bad card. I agree. Or if you wanna save your creature from retaliation, maybe. Don't know. I don't really see too many possibilities with it. Free serpent flies for me. The next is Vine Trap for 2 cost. Destroy target flyer creature. What you think?
Which one?
Vine Trap.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, destroy target fly creature. The problem is in current meta there is no flyer creatures at all, because like previously we had this Legions meta, then Legions were flyers, but currently like Inferno has no flyers at all, Sanctuary has no flyers at all, then Stronghold has only Runner Harpies. Yeah, there's really not enough flyer creatures pool. If the Necro would become more popular than or Academy, then this card could be better.
Yeah, also good against Heaven, but that's all. It's a specific card again. Next is Nature's Threat. It's instant spell for 5 cost. Deploy 2 Nature Elemental melee shooter token creatures with 2 attack, 1 retaliation, 5 health points, and infect 1 on 2 target with friendly battleground positions. Whew, what do you think?
Yeah, this should be playable, but it's not many decks that go that high in the Magic currently. It may change because I think we are going towards more control meta with the new expansion, so then it's actually a good card because you are playing like 2 free drops for 5 resource, so you are saving like 1 resource, and this is spell instead of the creature, which is either good or bad, but the value is here and it can be really powerful with the proper deck.
Yeah. I don't know. In fact, I never see this card at first look. It looks, don't know.
Yeah, so because this card was different first and we changed it, so we don't actually test this card, but it looks good for me.
Oh, okay, okay. Then okay. How would you like to rate it?
Yeah, I would give it 7 serpent flies.
Okay, I have no doubts about this card. Okay, let's jump for the next. The next is Fire Splash. Deal 1 damage to target creature and all adjacent creatures, so it's a little magma burst.
Yep, and this is not worth the card slot. It's really cheap, but it's not like with the Firebolt, which is also which is a staple. You are usually playing with the 4 copies, but I don't think it is better than Firebolt, and this effect is worse than Firebolt, and I don't think this is worth the card slot.
Yeah, it's again another Fireball, Magma Burst, and Fire Splash family. And this is the weakest one. You need to play a lot to get effect from this. That 1 damage is really not worth it for 1 card. even if you can hit 4 creature. I would like to rate it around 4 serpent flies. I don't really wanna play it, and also fire has a lots of good fire spells, so this is the weaker one. Next is good one, the fire rain, the forced sunburst. Deal 3 damage to all creatures on 2 target rows. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is slightly worse than Geyser, but it cost 1 more. But it's still very good because it tells you how good Geyser is actually. You can like play around this, moving your creatures and or using your creatures to like do a combat trick to kill off the creature after it is damaged with fire rain. So you can play around that, and it's not really that much disadvantage that it's on the all row, because you can really target it to your favor.
Yeah, what is good in this card, it's this card is really needed for fire. For example, Toggle. I always said the best strategy against Toggle is the Rove setup. With this spell, Toggle can avoid that, and it helps on Toggle a lot, because he can deal with that right now, and maybe Toggle will be a little bit better with that. Oh, okay. I would like to rate it around 6 or 7, more likely 7 serpent fly.
Yeah, 6 for me.
Flaring Rage the next. It's permanent ongoing spell. Whenever a creature attacks, put +1 attack counter on it. What's your thoughts?
I don't see a use for it, so for me it's almost a garbage, but I guess it will be part of some fun deck, which I don't really play fun decks, so.
Yeah, I already have idea for fun decks. For example, Aelia with Imperial Guard. Oh, I love Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard can use it and just heal Imperial Guard in every turn with Aelia ability, and after 4 or 5 turns you got a 4/8 creature. Can be fun, but of course it's not really competitive. That's all. Mostly if you play this on the creature, that creature instantly will be killed it, and it's just too much cost for it. So I would like to rate it around 4 serpent fly. It's just a bad card, even if the art is nice.
I don't think you put it on the creature. I think you play it like.
Oh, you are right.
Hero.
It's not enchantment. Okay.
Yeah, and then it works for all the creatures on the board.
Okay.
Yours and your opponents.
Then I mistook it. I'm sorry. Then it's not that bad in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's like with this series of cards that works for you and for the opponent, and you are playing it on your turn, then of course your creature's gonna attack for 1 more, but then your opponent can come back and his creature's gonna grow too strong for you to handle or something.
Okay, and what about Toggle, who wanna play with Arcathreads and I don't know, maybe for, or more likely something immolation deck with fire creatures and fire elemental. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, still looks bad, yeah, because enemy creatures got that +1 also. You are right. Yeah, as High Poly said in the chat, maybe with double attack, but that's also very situational. Okay, the next is good. Holy Light. It's a Haven light spell. Put a +1 attack counter on all friendly light creatures. What do you think?
Yeah, we changed this card, but it's still good. I played with it today, and if you play it in the right moment, and you can play it almost always, because this requirement is really low with the 2 magic, and basically if you have already strong board, then you can just use it as the Wig of Mercenary, but it's permanent on the creatures. It stays this +1 counter unless they die, but it will stay for long, and then it will scale this advantage like if you have the permanent Wig of Mercenaries. So it's really good in the light Haven deck.
Yeah, exactly. With the new cards, it's really fit. And maybe can give some more damage for Haven, because Haven is lack of damage, as we talked about it. Okay, it's at least 7 or 8 7 price for me again. On the next,
on the chat, Xixor is saying that we don't have the light cards, but in this expansion we will get really high amount of good light cards that we already played in the reveal stream, and it's really big competitive deck based on light cards.
yes, exactly. The new light cards are just awesome, and also the artwork is very nice. Okay, the next is Holy Sacrifice. It's ongoing spell. It's enchantment, friendly creature. Redirect all combat damage dealt to your creature to enchant creature instead. What do you think?
Because it says combat damage, so you can't play it with the Arcade's Wrath or the Insect Swarm or something, then it's not as good. Basically all you can do with it is like play it behind the towering guy. That's all.
Yeah.
So
That's
for
true.
like combo decks, like Morgan Mill, but I don't see that being a part of the competitive deck.
Oh yeah, of course. It's I still think Martyr is better, right? Martyr looks
Yep.
better. Okay, this round 3 again. 3 serpent flies. Next is really good. I love this spell. The Sunrise. Take target light creature from your graveyard and deploy it for free. Don't even need to reach the requirements. So it's very good against mill decks. What do you think about it?
Yeah, if you have the deck based on the high resource drops like Angel Commanders, then you can actually make value with it playing the Angel Commander for 4 resource instead for 5 resource. But apart from that, you can't actually, like, if you have only like 3 drops or 4 drops, and you can't actually create like immediate value out of it. It's still card for a card, so it's has potential to be better than a 4 drop, but sometimes it may turn out to be worse. And if you will have the bad hand in the beginning, then if you won't have the good curve, and you will not have the actual 4 drop in hand, and you will gain the Sunrise, then you cannot actually play it. So it's good and bad at the same time. It's some decks it could be really powerful, like if you could play really high drops like Anael for 4 resource.
Yeah, this card will be very good in open with Jaziel. I don't know how much of our users was around when when Jaziel was played, and there was a combo with her ability to discard a Celestial, for example, or something big creature, and just resurrect him with resurrection. This card can do the same exactly, and it can be very strong. You can do it also in standard, but you need to pay free resources for it with Day of Fortune event. That's not really competitive or useful. And also no Celestial in standard, but still I love this card. Even you can get back the free might 2 fortune requirement angel. I can't remember the name, and get some card advantage with that. So it can be good in my opinion. Also, if your 7 cost epic Salvation, Angel of Salvation would be killed, if you're running with that, it's a very good card to resurrect that and just protect your board again. So I love it. I would like to rate it at least 7, 6, 7
Yeah.
out of 5.
Yes, similar for me.
A Prime Shield, it's ongoing spell, permanent. Friendly prime creatures gain magic resist, so it's more likely for Academy. What do you think?
Probably it costs too much,
Yes.
but effect is really good. If you are playing the control deck and you can spare 5 resource, then you probably gonna win anyway. Maybe if you play control deck versus control deck, then it should be really good.
Yes, and it can be good with, for example, with Jkk89. Just think about 8 HP with 4 attack, 4 retaliation, plus magic resist. It's so awesome. Or some construct can play it, but more likely I think we're just not going to see that spell. It's just too high cost, as you said. Very situational. And the next is 2 cost prime spell. It's Dissolve. Ongoing spell, permanent. When a magic creature is about to be played, negate that creature and then destroy, dissolve. So it's a spell block for magic creatures.
Yeah, but it's worse because it negates, so you don't actually like discard this creature. It just not played. It just stay in your hand. So this card creates card disadvantage, and if you are playing with magic, you also have your own magic creatures, so it can backfire. It's a really bad card.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next is really good. A magic steel. It's instant spell. Look at opponent's hand and choose a non-unique magic creature card from it. You can play this creature for free. If you don't, put that card in the opponent's graveyard. So this is a spell twister for creatures, magic creatures. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as you said. I know you played this against me, and one time you was able to play 4 cost creature, and then you played the 2 cost creature. So any of these plays didn't create value for you. So it's really hard to, because I played this specifically magic deck, and maybe if you played against Stronghold you would find the opponent to have actually no magic creature on hand, because Stronghold does not have that many magic creatures, and you can't play a unique creature with it, so it's not as good. It's basically similar to these spells that we have for the spells and fortunes, like choose a card from opponent, choose a spell card from opponent hand and then play it for free. I don't know the name.
Exactly. It's bad against Stronghold, of course. But if you play, if you still just can play a 2-cost creature, it's still you discarded one creature from enemy's hand and you play the creature. It gives you some card advantage, and if you just find a 4-cost creature, that's a lot of profit, in my option. Also,
Yeah, maybe.
you can choose the card, but that's true. Okay, against Stronghold is just very bad. But one or two in a deck is, I think it's not bad, especially if you I don't know, maybe with Inferno, Kalazar or something like that, where you don't really want to go high, but high might and wanna play enemy's creatures. It should be very good against Academy. The most profit against Academy for sure, or against Inferno. Okay, the next is Ice Spear. Oh, this is 9 Serpent Fly for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really good in current form, because you can compare it to the Refreshing Spring. I don't think this card is in the standard. I think it's only in open, but some of you should know that card. It's basically 1 cost, buff 1, and this card do the same, but it doesn't create card disadvantage because it returns to your hand. So you can play it over and over. It's easily 9 Serpent Flies.
Yeah, exactly. Always coming back. You can play 4 of them easily. Just a huge damage buff. Very, very, very good. Next is another water spell, Ice Curse. Enchant creature permanent. At the beginning of each turn, deal 1 damage to all creature. So it's immolation for water.
Yes, and immolation is good in fire, because in fire you have also this Inferno card which buffs exactly fire spells, and also fire heroes have Arcad's Wrath, which is good to clear the board before you are able to play immolation. So in water is not as powerful as in fire, and also that you are playing this on the creature instead of the permanent above your hero, then is worse than immolation.
Yeah, it's not. Still, I think we will see some of this. Maybe Ashara can use the combo of Ice Curtain. Just imagine it with spell resist creatures, or magic resist creatures, sorry, and you play 8 of this. You can play any creature on the board because they instantly die. But overall, it's, as you said, but it's worse than immolation because of the support. Okay, the Frozen Wave, it's 5-cost water spell. All non-flyer creatures cannot attack. When Frozen Wave enters the battleground, deal 4 damage to all non-flyers creature. What do you think?
Yeah, in current meta we don't see that many flyer creatures, so you basically gonna hit the opponent creatures with it whenever you will cast it, especially against Stronghold, because they only play the Harpy, which is flyer, and you don't care that much about Harpy anyway. So this could be considered as the mass board clear, same as Arcad's Wrath. But then again it is only 4 damage instead of 5, but the advantage is that they cannot attack, plus you may build some strange deck based on flyers. Actually in Academy it is possible, and in open it should be easily done and you could play with Tsunami also, so it's good support for Tsunami. I think this card is much better for open than in Sanctuary in standard currently.
I would like to play it in standard with Syria. Syria has a million of flyers and has also water access. I think it can be good with Syria. And maybe Academy, but Syria was my first thought when I saw this card.
Yeah, but that's definitely not a bad card. It's definitely a good card. If you play it, if with the Syria, I would agree. If you play a lot of vampires, it may be even better than Ice Meteor for some decks.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's definitely a good card.
Yeah. So this is a very strong spell. Okay, I think this was the last one. Yes, this was the last card. We're just going through all of 100 cards. What do you think about the new meta? What heroes should we see in the new meta game and why?
Yeah, I think the Inferno control will be the best archetype in the new meta, and probably we're gonna see Kirill and maybe some other heroes like Damaira or Jezebel to be played more. Definitely Stronghold not gonna be that powerful against this control Inferno, because Stronghold not gonna get powerful additions, and Inferno cards are really good, especially Spellstealer Heretic, as we both rate him 10. Also, I think the Sanctuary should be good, because Sanctuary currently, as Yukiko, was really good against Stronghold, and it should deal with other control decks, as you have this option to outmaneuver plus play Ice Meteor, and in current meta you're not gonna see Masfar or Titan Workforce that much, and control decks as Yukiko should be better. I think in general meta will be much more control oriented, and we will see less Stronghold.
Not really agree with you. I think it will be rush oriented because of Kirill especially, and but if people can find a deck which can deal with Kirill, can find a control deck which can deal with Kirill, then yes, then control can dominate. Also, I agree with Stronghold. It's not gonna be that good as was. Stronghold got a huge nerf. It was it's obvious, I think. Sanctuary got some really nice creatures, as you said, and all of my hopes in Haven, New Haven creatures looks very good and very fun to play it. Some new damage, they got some new damage buff, and lots of creatures with high HP, high retaliation. Hopefully we will see lots of Haven. That is my favorite faction. And what we would see else, I think Necro is still not really good. Unfortunately, Necro is still didn't get enough love in this expansion. Maybe Ariana can be played, or the old Namtaru can be strong with the new stats. Yes, what you want to say?
Yeah, I would disagree on that part. I think the Haven is worse than Necro, because if depends on the meta. You think it gonna be Rush, but I think Rush not gonna be that powerful because of Insect Swarm, and then against Insect Swarm we will see the water heroes that are basically control heroes, and then maybe Necro has much more potential because of this crippling, and if you play against control, he not gonna rush you, and you can like make his board like really small and start to pick off with your own ice meteors with and a lot of potential for Necro faction. Also Academy should be really better than it is currently, I think. I am not so sure about Haven.
But if you are right and control will dominate, then Haven will be very strong because of Warding Inquisitor and lots of card which can deal with control decks. I don't know. I still feel Haven stronger. We will see anyway. All of us has different playstyle, of course, different thoughts about the expansion, but the time will. Oops. Okay, the time will define the metagame. It's not easy to see, in my opinion. Anything else what you want to say
Yeah, I
about
think it's all.
first, second turn or something?
Tom,
Also,
maybe you start.
I think why rush decks will be a little bit more viable because it will be harder to reach insect form now, especially as first player. You can trace the stats and you have a choice to going for free spell to play insect form against Kirill who played at least one lava spawn against you, or you go for might and trying to play creatures. It's hard decision, and
I just
yeah.
want to say that for the current first player to play Insect Swarm is exactly the same as for for the new first player is exactly the same as for the old second player. Like if you play
Yes.
second player, you also have this one less stat point, and you also, if you remember the card versus card matchups, then the first player has this like 4 might, 2 magic and 3 destiny really early, and if you are the second player, you at the same time have like 4 might, 1 magic and 2 destiny, and then you are choose to up either destiny or magic. So it's basically the same, but it's switched. So instead of second, then now it is gonna be the first player with this less option available for him.
Yes, but now the second player can play Dragon Crystal and can play double lava spawn at first turn, and you still need as first player still need full turn at least while you can play Insect Swarm, and after that you can raise the might. And it's not the same as if you going to play one lava spawn in the previous meta as first turn, and the second can react for this with up the spell.
Yeah, it's basically the same as currently we would give the Dragon's Crystal for the first player. And as you can see, that really favors rush. So Tutsu is right about that, I agree, but it's only this one thing, this Dragon's Crystal which favors rush, but the card pool which we are gonna to get with this new expansion, I think it's more towards to control. So it's like card pool is control oriented, but the first second change is like rush oriented. So find the middle ground here.
Okay, we will see. Will be interesting anyway. And don't forget, if I'm right, the new expansion will hit at October 10 or 9. October 9. Kimundi is on the chat, so he can prove that. I'm not sure about it. But anyway, and I wanna thank you for your work, GK, for today, and I hope we will meet in Paris also and drink some
Yeah.
beer. Okay, so really thanks for today. It was really helpful and your talks was really good about the cards and about the meta games. Um,
Yeah.
so if you want to say anything for the viewers, do it right now.
Yeah. I just really like to be to participating in this stream because I like to give my opinion about cards and stuff. I really like to evaluate things and give the review. So thanks for that opportunity to do because I would not gonna do this on myself on my stream.